Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, whichever end of the day it is for you. Hello. This is Gwenda, spirit medicine woman, spiritual teacher, and holistic wellness practitioner. I'm here today, very pleased and very privileged to be here for our beautiful Xavier. Xavier will be back with you next week, and we really wish you, Xavier, that you are doing a fantastic job with your new studies, meaning that you are doing really well with your new study or your extended study, and that you're looking forward to seeing everyone back again next week. So, to everyone else, good morning and hello. Welcome along to today's show with me, and I'll be back this evening again for my own show. I'll actually be around the place a few times today, which is going to be pretty cool. So hi to everyone that's just popped in. I see there are a few of you there. Please do. Hi Kerry, thanks very much. Hi Maria. Oh girls, nice to see you all this morning. Hello, and how are you? So we're going to be seeing what it is that comes through for you today. For those of you who are familiar with me, you know that I will wait for the directive from Spirit as what it is that they wish to bring forward to help you in your life, help you in where you're at the moment. And for those of you who are in any place in the world that is in a position of what is called lockdown, my thoughts, my heart is with you and for you. I think I'll light up your house in some beautiful healing light from the divine, and just keep in mind, I was thinking about something this morning, and what came to mind was I have to believe. So I have to believe that this will end. I have to believe that things will be better. I have to believe that there is an answer that is of my highest good. So anytime that you are faced with some kind of adversity, some kind of distress, upset, please keep those words in mind. And on the end of I must believe, then obviously it is of the highest vibration. It's no good saying I must believe. I don't really. It's not going to happen, hey? So where am I at here? Hi Helen, good morning to you. Oops, Gwenda. Yes, it's oops, Gwenda. Who knows? Could be anything. Hi Kat Gray, nice to see you. Good morning, Wendy Wood. And welcome. You're very welcome. Ray Cassie, very welcome. Amen is a favourite of mine. So actually, Ray Cassie has put there that she needs a miracle as well. So what is a miracle? And how would we bring a miracle into our life? It's a good thing to ponder, isn't it? Absolutely, Joe Hayden. I'm glad you do. Not everybody does. So hence my reminder, but I'm very glad that you do. Good morning. Ralda, how are you today? Ladies, I know where some of you are from, but if you wouldn't mind, for my non-regulars, letting me know where you're from, where you're coming in from, that would be great. And if you're in the opposite end of the day, because for me it's only 10 o'clock in the morning, so morning tea time. So miracles. The word miracle was first tabled or first brought in writings to the history of man from Jesus. And he was, oh, lovely Joe, thank you. Yeah, Pigott, me too, whereabouts? Oh, Sonny, good morning, darling, nice to see you here. So, the word miracle first became known to mankind through the scribing Jesus' time. What is a miracle? You might have your own perception on a miracle, Usually a miracle is something that is beyond the understanding and the ability of what mankind thinks he's capable of. So somebody surviving a horrendous accident, say they fell from one of the largest peaks of the Himalayas and they survived. Some would call that a miracle. Things turning around when they are at their absolute worst and it looks like there couldn't be anything more difficult to come, some might call that a miracle. Ashley, hello. Murulabul. That's an awesome name. Thanks, Ray Cassie. Awesome. From Brisbane. Coming safely into the world after I lost my son at 35 weeks. No reason him passing away. And I felt pregnant with her 10 months to the day he passed. Now there you go. That's a beautiful definition and experience of a miracle, Ashley. God bless, and very delighted that your daughter has come in. Now, Ashley writes here that she lost her son at 35 weeks when there was no reason for him passing away. Well, this might be a really difficult thing to understand because there is so much in this reality that we cannot understand, that we can't get our head around. And the only reason we can't get our head around it is because it's not what we believe should have been. It's not what we wanted. It's not what we knew to be what's called normal. Would you agree? So, thank you, Wendy. I'll expand on that. So in Ashley's case, and in all mothers to be who experience the sudden departure of their expected baby, nothing makes sense. Unless, of course, through medical science, they can give you a reason to placate your heart and to give you a reason that you can get your mind around as to why your baby didn't come through to this world. On a much higher level, a much higher vibration, you have a greater understanding of all things that we can't understand here. Now, I've got a couple of things on that line to share with you. A beautiful lady that I met in London when I was over there speaking at a large conference a couple of years ago. Definitely wasn't last year, was it? A couple of years ago. We have maintained a beautiful friendship. And she is similar to me, not the same, because none of us are the same. Ashley, I'm glad you're here today, love, and I'm glad that the word miracle is what's come through for me to talk about, and hope that your heart will feel a lot lighter and that you may have a deeper knowing by the end of our session today. So what this lady shared with me was that she was showering and all of a sudden the curtain flew back and there appeared the spirit of a man, and he said to her, she's in the shower, remember, and he just rocks up and he said, I am not happy. I am not happy in the least. I am not happy that my life and all that I went through was wasted. You see, he come to find, when he left this world, he come to find that all of what he experienced and what we would call suffering was actually because he was to be one of the souls who came during the time that all of this took place, and I'll tell you what it was in a moment, to bring mankind to a greater understanding of compassion, kindness, and tolerance towards all of mankind. But he says that looking on the world and looking at mankind now, he's angry, he's unhappy, he feels his life in Auschwitz was a total waste. It took him 3 years to be able to move from this world to the realm of the next where he was to go, because he could not see that his life had been of any value. Now, when I read for people and I see their loved ones and they tell me that they are not yet complete in their transition, and I explain that to their loved one in this world, I've quite often had people react quite annoyed, some get angry even, and will tell me that they've been to another reader who says that their grandfather or their father or their daughter or whatever is perfectly happy and doing really well. But you see, that's not what I said to them. What I said is their transition is either not complete or it's taken them a long time. So for this man who appeared, who lost his life in Auschwitz, in all of the horror that went on there, 3 years, he was still between the realms. And he came to know that it was all about him being here. His life was meant to represent something really special, something really important. Compassion, kindness, tolerance. But he sees that it was a waste. Now, Ashley, when I was 40, I died on the operating table because the hospital had left me for too long when they decided to take me to theatre. And actually I was 40 years old and I had been sterile since I was 23. Sterile by choice because I had my 2 children and I did not wish to have any more. I lost 1 fallopian tube between my 2 pregnancies. In some ways, Ray Cassie, and you wait and hear this story, and I'm hoping that this is going to bring some greater understanding for Ashley. And Ashley, I'm also going to see, with your permission, only with your permission, I will see if I can connect with your boy. Okay? So I'd lost 1 fallopian tube, so I didn't have one on the other side. And then when I was ligated, now I'm an ex-theatre scrub nurse, so the surgeon who did my ligation, I'd done many ligations with him, and he was not a cut and tie. If somebody wanted to be sterilised, then he did it properly. He actually cut away the fallopian tube. So thank you, Ashley, thank you. He cut away the fallopian tube. So there you are. I had no fallopian tube on the left, and then I was ligated completely on the right. So when I collapsed at home at the age of 40 and my children took me to hospital, there was nothing to be seen except that I was in extreme pain, and I was also extremely fit. I was actually training to go into a body sculpting competition, so I was in top-notch physical condition. Now, the staff wouldn't listen because they couldn't see anything on the outside. Anyway, my daughter insisted that, this wasn't her mum and the way that I normally am. So the staff took blood. And when they came back, the nurse came back to me and said, "You're pregnant." And I said, "Impossible. I've been sterile since I was 23. I'm now 40. "Well, the bloods say that you're pregnant." And my daughter, who was 19 or something, she was so excited. I got to tell you, I was not. and I was sure they were wrong, but I wanted to push. I wanted to push, and I didn't know why. So the next day, because they left me too long, the next day they sent me for an internal look around. And the young woman doing the look around, the ultrasound, she clearly did not think about what she was doing. And she turned the monitor around and said, "Oh, look, there's your baby." And sitting up under my ribs was the baby, 8 weeks. And there its little heart was going berserk and it was flipping around. It was under my ribs. Now, as a nurse, I knew that either both of us were going to be leaving this world, or me, definitely baby. It was more than I could cope with. It was such a shock. So by the time they finished with me in theatre, and as I say, I died on the operating table, and they brought me back. They'd left me really to bleed to death, so I didn't have any blood. Now, I am a Noongar Wadandi woman of the southwest of Western Australia, so I'm an olive complexion. Well, I was whiter than white. I couldn't speak, I couldn't drink, I couldn't lift a cup, I couldn't do anything because I didn't have any blood, because they'd left me too long. Now, Ashley, what I'd like to share with you is that shock was horrendous. And I could not for the life of me fathom why that child had tried to come through into this world through me. Shazza G'day. So getting through that was massive. So Ashley, I can truly relate. Now, it took me 3 years to stop seeing that child. It took me 3 years to really rebuild myself. It took 1.5 years for me to rebuild my blood, because I refused to have a blood transfusion, because they could not, and I knew this as being a nurse, they could not guarantee me that I was not at risk of catching any disease from some other blood or having any other issues. I also knew that because I didn't have enough blood myself, I was at great risk of dying by receiving someone else's blood. On an energetic level, I don't want someone else's energetic imprint in my body. If it was time for me to go, then it was time for me to go. So the child visited me regularly, and it was a boy. And, you know, I asked him over and over, why did you do this? Why did you lodge yourself up underneath under my ribs? So that's the base of my rib cage, he was just here. Funnily enough, on the left side, near my heart. So how do we understand these things? Especially in your case, Ashley, where you are looking forward to the arrival of a child. Now, you may not like what you hear from your child. I've done this for people before, where I have connected with their child, and I've even had to deliver the message when the child has still been in vitro and has let the parents know that they either will not be coming through or they won't be staying for long. Many years ago now, I went to the Perth Children's Hospital to see a young boy who was 13, and I'd known him from the day he was born. His mum was a very dear friend of mine. And she... Oh, that's lovely, Ray Cassie. That's a very lovely thought. Thank you. I will be coming back to you, Ray Cassie, with some lovely greetings from Tennessee, Superman. Hi, Lorraine. Welcome here today. So, delivering messages. So I went to the hospital to see this beautiful boy who was 13, and he'd been diagnosed with cancer. Now, I expected, there's a dangerous word, expected, to break down into tears as soon as I saw him, because I'd known him from the day he arrived into this world. I'd known him all his life, all his precious 13 years. And I walked around the corner expecting to see a very sick and a very upset young man. But instead, I walked around the corner and I saw these incredible sapphire blue eyes, so full of life, so full of grace, of God's grace. I was absolutely stumped. I just stood there and connected with him telepathically. And he said, "Gwenda, I'm here for 6 weeks. I want you to tell Mum that I'm leaving in 6 weeks." Could you possibly imagine what that was like? Could I tell his mum that he was only going to be here in this world for another 6 weeks? There was no way I could do that. No way. So instead of leaving in 6 weeks like he was meant to, his mum could not let him go. Understandably, his mum couldn't bear it. And of course she fought to keep him alive. So he suffered a lot through treatment, until there came a point where she had to concede that he needed to go. And that took 3 long years. To this day, she still asks, "Why, my son?" Miracles. We can see a miracle every day. Ashley, you have a miracle, as you said. You have a miracle in your little girl. Now, why didn't your boy arrive? Well, Ashley, if your boy had have arrived into this world, you would have gone down a similar path to my girlfriend, except your boy would only have made it to 18 months. And the reason for that is that he had a malfunctioning heart. And he was also tremendously, what people call now, an empath. But I'm going to say, Ashley, your boy would have been so very, very sensitive in this world that he would not have been able to manage it. And that came to be known to him as he was preparing to arrive to this world. Now, as I said, you're going to find this really hard to take. But I am listening to him right now. And I'm also seeing the body that he was going to be living in this world. And I see the defects in the heart. Why didn't the, hi Kim Miller, welcome love. Why didn't the medical world, there you are Ashley, confirmation from him. Now why didn't the medical world see this? Because they couldn't. There was nothing that they could use to have seen the inside of his heart, and the fact that it was not developing properly. It had not developed properly throughout his growing time. So Ashley darling, he very quickly got his sister to come through faster than she was going to. She wasn't going to be due into your world until 3 years later. That was the plan. So the reason for your little boy, the soul of your boy, to not be able to come was because had he have come through, you would have lost him at 18 months. And Ashley, it was decided that this was something that you would never have recovered from. You yourself are a very sensitive person. You yourself have a very sensitive heart. Everything that you feel around you goes straight to your heart. Your boy was 10 times more sensitive than you. And he knew that he also was not going to be able to be strong enough for you in this life. So he would have had the burdens of your heart. And Ashley, he loves you so much that to carry the burden of your heart was too much. But aside from that, his own physical heart was not able to carry him into this world. Now I could, if you like, I can explain what I can see in the chambers of his heart. But will that help you? It's up to you. So, yes, Ashley. So, darling girl, what he would like you to do is to hold him close in your heart as he knows he's there, but he would like you now to be able to feel his love for you and hold that in your heart to make your heart stronger. He can actually help you more. I know this is going to sound really strange, but he is going to be able to help you more from spirit than he could from being in this world. Now, when your little girl is 5, after a nice big break, you're going to have a surprise pregnancy. And that will be a boy. Will it be this boy? No. This is going to be quite a robust bull in a china shop. Don't bring him to my house. Bull in a china shop boy. And he's going to light up your world beautifully. In the meantime, really, really love your boy that's in spirit, but he asks that you let all of that love you have held for him, and that you want that you want those answers for. He's asking you pour that love into your beautiful little girl, because she was a special delivery. She was actually a special delivery via your very sensitive hearted son. So you have got a miracle delivered via your boy. And he is delightful. Now, he is happily in spirit. And that does not mean he's happily in spirit because he's not here with you. That's nothing to do with it. He's happily in spirit because that's where he needs to be. Ashley, I hope that has helped you a lot. Yeah, well, bull in a china shop, that new kid, keep him all to yourself. So I hope that was a help for you. Yeah. Ashley, you need to come to her. You really do love. Move past that now and accept that he's with you. And please pour, as he's asking, pour all that love you have for him to your beautiful little girl. She deserves you. She's a very special delivery. She deserves your love, and she deserves you to be there very much. Now, this beautiful little girl of yours, you need to be careful with her heart, because if she doesn't receive enough love, then she can actually go into what is called I'm going to call it a calcification around the heart, but what it means, calcification of the heart chakra. So her heart won't be able to receive and give love as it should be able to. She will build that out of protection because of all of the hurt and the sorrow that she's seen love bring to you. So Ashley, you really need to shower your little girl, your little miracle girl, in your love. Now then, let's have a look at. Oh, don't do that to you, darling. Don't read his autopsy report. It's not going to be helpful. I hope today has been a help for you. Hi, Simone Marie. How are you? First, 4.5 months, no answers. Simone Marie, my heart goes out to you too. 4.5 months, it's a long time to carry baby now for yourself, Simone Marie. That beautiful child of yours, there was too much fluid in the lungs of that baby. Now, this was a real rough shot, is what it's being called, a real rough shot of pregnancy. You yourself carried too much fluid. Your own kidneys were not able to disperse fluid from your body, and that in turn, this is nothing you did, all right? It's just the way things worked out. But with the excess fluid, and there was also a lot of amniotic fluid with that pregnancy, this happens, you know. But for your child at 4.5 months, and I see a female energy. Now, your child made that decision not to come through. They chose not to arrive to this world. Now, I know people that this is really hard to understand, but we began with the word miracles. You see, the thing is that when we are granted a life here, and we have our soul contract of our life here, when we are coming in and out of the physical, so as we are growing. Now, if you've been pregnant and you know there are times where people get worried about baby because there hasn't been any movement, that's because baby's not home. Baby's out zipping around in the cosmos. Just as you are able to leave your physical body when you sleep, babies do the same thing, or the soul of what is going to be a baby does the same thing, and they come in and out. They can come in and out as often as they like. Some of them stay right out until they're due to arrive. So when they choose through their own reasoning to not come through, and they decide to basically abort their life, it's very hard to understand as the expecting parent. But what you do have is you will always have the connection with that child. And you can ask in dream for them to show you what they look like. You can ask for them to let you know if they want to share with you what their reason is for not coming through. Now, Simone Marie, I would like to ask you to look after your lungs and your kidneys a lot more. You carry grief very easily and sorrow, and it's most often not yours, it's other people's. So I would like to ask you to be very aware of how you are feeling about other people's grief, other people's sorrow. And look after your kidneys and lungs in your own physical body. Do all of the things, be it food, be it movement, be it breath, that help build strong kidneys and lungs. And this is going to help you a lot. And the other thing, Simone Marie, I want to say to you is that you have not grieved properly for the loss of that child. I see 3 children with you, Simone Marie. So the second born into this world is the one that you will need to keep quite an eye on, because they're the one that have decided to come through with a bit of a challenge in this life. Challenge in a good way, just a handful. Joe Hayden, I'd like to come to you now and be able to say to you that You're very fortunate, Joe, in that there are 3 new pathways being offered to you for your life going forward over the next 10 months. When you have 3 new pathways being brought forward for you, it means that you've got 3 new opportunities of new path that you can take. Now, this is not secular to just work or just where you're living. It is your whole life path. So you're now going to have 3 new openings, and they will begin to unfold for you one after the other. What you will feel is the sense of change, the sense of shift and change, and you will feel restless, as if you want to be changing but don't know what it is that you want to change or that you want to change to. We open 3 pathways for you to choose from, and the beauty of this is that there is no wrong choice, Joe. So enjoy what is coming for you and make the most of it. You're very welcome, Ashley. Very welcome, love. I'm glad you came in today. And Ray Cassie, thank you very much. It is a privilege, one that I hold with the deepest of respect for the gifts that I have come into this world once again with. This is not my first ride here and not my first time of not my first time of being of service to humanity. So for Ray Cassie, there is the most beautiful light that streams through you and all that you offer to people that come into contact with you. And for the service that you bring to humanity, you are being thanked and also acknowledged. There is also shown behind you a most beautiful backdrop of mountains. Now, these mountains are about you being able to walk any path. Ray Cassie, this is you. These mountains are absolutely stunning, and they represent strength. They do not represent being shut in. For you, everything that you look at, you will find a way around, up, over, through. And these mountains are synonymous with everything you stand for. Ray Cassie, you have got a most divine year coming for you next year. This year is a little bit on the same old, same old. It's a little bit on the ho-hum side of things, but next year for you, Ray Cassie, is a fantastic year with you feeling as if nothing can stand in your way. Nothing can shift you when you want to move through and past obstacles. Keep that magnificent gold light coming down through you and emanating it out to the world, especially at the moment. Nicole, how are you today? Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for your message for Ashley. It's healing for all of us. Well, don't we often find that, Nicole? The divine is simply so wonderful in knowing what needs to be brought forward, and I thank you in great honour and respect for your message here and for the healing that you feel. All of my childhood and then 7 years abusive marriage, heart is solid. Yes, Nicole, you have built a barrier around your heart, but the fact is that you are such a loving person. You have got such a warm heart. You could never enshrine your heart in a big wall that is solid. You really couldn't. Your heart is protected, yes, but it is most definitely not encased in a really big solid barrier. You'll reach out for love and you'll want for love. It is really sad that you've taken on a historical energetic imprint down the family line, which interestingly enough, Nicole, comes from your father's side of the family, not your mother's. Abuse was actually through your father's side of the family, not your mum's. So unfortunately, you took on that energetic imprint, and this is what took you through the route of what you feel, not being loved, and then ending up in a very abusive marriage. You also mimicked the life path in relationship in marriage of your great grandmother from your father's side of the family, and she is actually with you right now. She is here to say that she has come to break that bond. She has come to break that history. She is also very, very sorry that her life and everything about her life continued on down the line to you. And she has her hand on your right shoulder, Nicole, and she sends through you the deepest of love, the most beautiful, beautiful amethyst purple and the most beautiful rose quartz pink. The reason she puts the amethyst purple is because it is the one thing that can actually break that crystallization around your heart, followed by the rose quartz, which brings in the sense of love and can override a sense of having to shield your heart. You have done a lot in your life, Nicole, and you have worked to overcome these things, but now with your grandmother, your great grandmother, stepping in to basically own what is hers, because it's her imprint that you have managed to capture to. She withdraws that now, Nicole. What you need to do now is to be able to offer yourself on a daily basis simple things that show you that you love you. The other thing that you can do is also go into a meditation, whether it be guided, whether someone can take you through it. You're welcome to reach out for a healing session with me. We can take you through to meet up with little Nicole, because she's the one who needs your love. She's the one that needs your support. Simple baby things that is going to, simple steps of showing your self-love is where you is where you're going to heal. Oh, thank you, Ray Cassie. That's beautiful. Baby souls that cross to spirit. I'm just making a note of that cross to spirit. That would be lovely. Ailish, hello. 8 miscarriages. She isn't on here, but her name is Amy Lee. Thomas, is there anything you're able to bring through for her to give her hope and guidance? Never ever give up hope, Ailish. Never ever. Okay, the reason that she is miscarrying now, Ailish, not allowed to go into things for someone who isn't present. And what I see here is something that it certainly wouldn't be for public discussion without her permission, because it actually comes around to her. I can't really say it. The thing is, Ailish, the reason that she's had 8 miscarriages is because of what's in her heart. Now, I can only expand on that with her permission. I'm sorry, love, but I can see what the problem is there. You do? Yes, I thought so, Simone. I can see them. Well, no, your second, Simone Marie, your second is the challenge with the way that they've chosen to learn in their life. So you've got a little bit of a surprise coming just yet. Good afternoon, LeGray. How are you today? A miracle for Joe. Yes, yes, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Simone. Thank you, Simone Marie. That's lovely. Believe harder said than done. I pray for a miracle. Well, this is obviously a really important topic this morning around miracles. You know, Wendy, You don't need to try to stay strong with faith and belief harder, okay? And this is for everyone. When you have faith, you can't go wrong. It is only your human mind and the conditioned mind that will get in the way and query your faith. Now, I was sitting in a courtroom, 2 weeks of trial of a young man who had been stitched up by the police who wanted him for a murder that he didn't commit. And on one of the days where the lies of the prosecution was just unbearable, I said quietly from my position in the public gallery, Lord God Almighty, please show me that you hear me. Please show me that you're here. And through the bricks of this big old courtroom, huge old-fashioned, because it's over 200 years old, this courtroom, through the bricks, not through the window, through the bricks came this incredible ray of, I'm going to call it golden light, but it was not a gold that I could even describe of what we understand gold to be in this world. And it came through the bricks, right across the courtroom and straight over the young man standing in the dock. That was the answer. You see, I don't have wavering faith. I have unwavering faith. I have an unquestioning faith and belief. And with that is that reminder, you must always believe. It is only the mind that will get in the way and hound you and cause issues. So rather than trying to stay strong, Wendy, I ask that you make your prayers very precise. Make your prayers to the divine. Be certain who you're speaking to. Know where you stand with your faith and belief. Maria, hello. When you release and the body hasn't caught up yet. Yeah. Yes, when the poor old body... Sorry, I have to laugh at that one, Maria. I do love it. When you are releasing things that no longer serve you, when you are refining your physical body, you're shifting your vibration to a higher level and the physical self hasn't quite caught up, it can cause issues in the physical body. So you need to be very on par with the physical body and build it stronger through bringing in a healing light that will generate the right vibration through every single cell of the body. And that again is going to come back to your faith and belief. So allowing a light to come through, preferably a white or a gold light, and see that as going through every single cell of the body, lifting the vibration to match where you are at. It's a whole lot of fun, isn't it? Hello, Cheryl, and welcome to you. Or is it Cheryl? Thank you very much. Thank you for that question, Ray Cassie. Let me see what I can do here. There we go. So I've just put a link there for you. Is that going to work? A link for booking. There you go. So there's a link in the comments here for how you can book with me. You can also go to my website and book, which is healwithgwenda.com. There are other links in the information on this live for you to be able to make bookings with me. And it would be a privilege to either do a healing for you, to have you have channeled guidance for you, to have you join my group perhaps, where I take people through the process of understanding how to connect with their higher self, how to connect with their guides. I've just finished last night one of the series of that, and I'll be getting back to that again in a couple of weeks. So they're the ways that you can book with me and you can come across more help. Thank you, Nicole. Opening to trust. Now then, what I'm going to say to you is that I'm filling in today for our beautiful Xavier. Move past fear of failure. Move past fear of failure. What I'm doing is I am taking some notes. Thank you, Helen. I'm taking some notes here on the things that you're asking because of the time, and I've actually got my own show, the H.E.A.L show tonight, and that's on at 6:30 Perth time, so that's 8:30 Eastern States time. I'm not sure what time it is in Tennessee. I'm sorry. So for those of you who have asked questions, like Maria and Olive, if you're able to join me this evening, I'll actually answer those questions this evening because I need more than the few minutes that we've got left here. They're great questions. Thank you very much, Maria and Olive. I like them both very much. Thank you, Lisa. That's lovely, and welcome to the show. Angel bumps. Loads of healing to you, Nicole. It would actually do you the world of good to have a healing, my love. Thank you, Kerry. Always to be here. Oh, that's lovely, Cheryl. Thank you, LeGray. For yourself, LeGray, there is going to be, there's a beautiful little drawstring pouch being shown here, and I'm going to say to you that it's a little bit like Aladdin's cave because it is what is being called bottomless. So there's a lovely gift coming to you, LeGray, that is going to be, it's monetary. So there is going to be an improvement in your money in your life. And this beautiful little pouch, now don't be surprised if someone actually gives you a gorgeous looking little old fashioned pouch. You must keep that and always keep it with some gold coin in it. Never take the gold coin out. Doesn't need to be much. It can be a $2 and a $1. But it must always have those coins in it, and it's never going to be empty. So, LeGray, you have got some lovely, lovely surprises financial coming. Now, I want everyone to know too that when you're looking to improve your finances, that's a terrible word. Keep your mind open, sorry, as to how you receive, and be open to receive, because most often we get caught up in thinking, well, I can't see how I can possibly get any more money. I mean, my job only pays this much and I don't get any pay rises. Well, just by thinking that way, you've already curbed your ability to receive abundance. You know, abundance by way of money, by way of wealth, of finance, does not always come via our work. So welcome, okay, just welcome the flow of abundance and believe that it will come to you every day, and you'll be amazed at how that shifts you. Oh, thank you, Eilish. Yeah, I'm sorry, love, I can't do anything without, and especially in a public forum, because what I can see for her could be really quite distressing for her. Oh, okay, Cat Grey, I sure can. And this is for everyone, by the way. Oh, ouch! It's 6 months. Oh, that's big, Cat. An abortion in a nutshell, you can only have an abortion through the consent of the child, of the soul of the child that's coming through. You'll hear of people say that they wanted to have an abortion or they tried to have an abortion, and every time they went to, something happened and they weren't able to go through with it. That's because it's not their choice. It's the child. And it's always the child's choice. It's not ours. So when a child knows that they need to leave and we have a sudden departure, what seems to be a healthy pregnancy, it's because the soul of the child has made that decision. So when it comes to an abortion, you can only go through with an abortion when it is agreed from the soul of that baby. So for anyone who's been through that, please know that the child or the soul of the child is always perfectly fine because they have agreed to it. You can't go through with it otherwise. Oh, thank you, Sonny. You're very welcome, love. Thank you very much. Yeah, Ailish, that's beautiful. Yeah, namaste to you too, LeGray. Thank you, Helen. Cheryl, that's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, there you go. So there's my booking links there for you. Angela Phillips, hello to you, darling. You've just popped in. There you go, Helen. That's just beautiful. Well done. You're welcome, Wendy. Sleepy, passed out kind of way. I do enjoy the way I do it lives. Learning lots of things, especially how the body reacts. Oh yeah, well, your body is the messenger of your soul. It's the only way your soul is able to communicate with you, unless you are able to sit and receive the guidance from your soul. That's what my group is about. The School of Wisdom is for people to know how to connect with their higher self, being their soul, and their spirit guides. But when you, yeah, I understand that, Maria. I do a lot of that. Oh, wow. Nicole, thank you for being up. If you're over there in Montreal, thank you for being here with us at that late hour. So, now I've lost my train of thought. Whoop, what was I talking about? Being able to connect with your soul, your higher self, is where you can get your greatest life's wisdom and where you can get the very best of guidance. And if you can't do it, then that's what I'm here for. I can connect with your soul and let you know. So the physical body is a mirror of the messages of the soul, and unfortunately it's always the soul going, hey, I want your attention, something's not quite right here and we need to talk, we need to be looking at things and changing some things. So paying really special attention to your body and what it has to say. I wrote a poem called The Poetry of the Body. It was, well, I didn't, pardon me, I didn't, I was the conduit for the words to come through. Oh, that's awesome, Ailish. See if you can get your friend to join me tonight, love. You're welcome, Cheryl. Thank you for being here. And yes, bless you also, LeGray. Yes, Christine Marie Clark, that is a favourite topic of mine and it's one of my biggest teaching areas. Can emotions get trapped in your body and create physical pain? Yes, they most certainly do, and that's where physical pain, illness and disease comes from. Absolutely. Begins with emotions. So, yes, definitely can. Hi, Jody Marie. Love, how are you today? Leaves at any stage of life. Yes, it is, Jody Marie. Yes, it is. Yep. You leave when it's your time and you leave because you want to. No. Cat Grey, no. No. Not at all. Being just that, which obviously isn't agreeing, is now very stubborn. Stubbornness, that's funny. Nice one, Ash. Keep you on your feet, love. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, hang on, there's all sorts of comments now. I do have to say farewell. I thank you, Nicole. That's lovely. Yep, Christ died for us. He certainly did. I'm just finishing up, Leanne. I'm sorry, love, but you can join me again tonight at 6:30 Perth time. Oh, that's lovely. Nicole. I'll look forward to seeing you tonight and to answering questions. So for those of you who asked some questions just now, when I come on to my show this evening, 6:30 Perth time, 8:30 Eastern States time, then I will be answering those questions. And those of you who came on a little bit later and would like some guidance, then you're very welcome to join me tonight. So until then, Elaine, thank you, and back at you, lovely. Until then, everyone, have a fabulous day, and I'll look forward to seeing you again. This is my last Tuesday morning. Our beautiful Xavier will be back next week, so it'll be just me on my Tuesday evening next week. But tonight, see you tonight, everyone. Thank you.